Okay, today we are going to start with very important chapter, that is ionic equilibrium. Okay, ionic equilibrium. So difference between this chapter and previous chapter is here we are going to start with a new substance which is called as electrolyte. Okay, what we are going to start with new electrolyte. Okay, what is written here? Electrolyte. We are going to start with a new substance which is not found in normal equilibrium. The difference between normal equilibrium and here we are going to study about the electrolyte. Okay, so first let us know what is electrolyte. Electrolyte is a substance which is a conductor of electricity, which is a conductor, okay, of electricity, conductor of electricity, conductor of electricity. Okay, so there are two types of conductors: metallic conductor and electrolytic conductor. It comes under the electrolytic conductor. Okay, so what is the difference between this and others is, here conductor of electricity, due to, this is the main thing, due to flow of ions. Due to what? Flow of ions. Okay, so if something is conductor because of the flow of electrons, then it is called as a metallic conductor. Okay, if something is because of the flow of the ions, then it is called electrolytic conductor. Okay, so electrolytes are conductor of electricity due to flow of ions. Okay, there should be charge, should be transferred from one place to another place. Now here, charge carrying is done by the charge carrying is done by the help of the ions. Okay, so in normal metals, which who will carry the electrons, we will carry the charge. That is, what they are going to do is, they are going to carry by the electrons is going to carry the charge. Okay, but here who will carry? Here it is carried by the electro ions. Okay, now electrolyte is further divided into two types. Electrolyte is further divided into two types. Okay, so first type, okay, I can see board is blurred, so I am explaining in detail. Okay, I am explaining it with audio. So conductor of electricity due to flow of ions. Okay, so first, ions, depending on the number of ions, there is a quantity called as degree of dissociation. What it is called as? Degree of dissociation. Okay, so depending on the degree of dissociation, electrolytes are further divided into two types. They are further divided into how many types? Two types. Okay, so what are those two types? First one is called weak electrolyte. First one is called weak electrolyte. First one is called weak electrolyte. Okay, and second one is called as strong. What I am writing here? It is strong. Okay, strong electrolyte. Electrolytes are divided into how many types? Two types, based on what? Degree of dissociation. Okay, so before studying these two, weak electrolyte and strong electrolyte, you should know what is strong degree of dissociation. Okay, so I will give you the definition and utilization on base of which it is classified into two types. Okay, first we should study what? Degree of dissociation we are going to study. Okay, so what is the degree of dissociation? It is denoted with alpha. It is denoted with alpha. Okay, and alpha is equal to, see, there is a little bit change in the words, but there is a lot of change in the meaning. Okay, so number of moles dissociated, number of moles dissociated divided by number of moles dissolved. Okay, number of moles dissolved. See, there is a minute word change, dissociated and dissolved, but it makes a lot of difference in understanding. Okay, so alpha is equal to, those who are not able to see, try to understand very carefully. Okay, number of moles dissociated Number of moles it is dissociated upon number of moles dissolved. So what it makes a difference, how we are going to calculate, that I am explaining now. Okay. Let us take 1 mole of NaCl dissolved in water, sufficient water to create a saturated solution. It is dissolved in sufficient water to create a saturated solution. Okay. So, but NaCl being a strong electrolyte, all 1 mole will be dissociated. Dissolved is 1 mole and dissociated also 1 mole. Okay. So quantitatively, if I wanted to write, it will be 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 moles, 23 molecules of NaCl. What I have written here, 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 NaCl are dissolved in water. These are dissolved. Okay. These are what? These are dissolved. But after dissolving also, same number of all molecules dissociated into ions. All molecule dissociated into ions. That means numerator and denominator is same. Then what you will get alpha value? 1. This is the highest possible value. Highest possible value of alpha is how much? 1. When it will takes place? When numerator is equal to denominator. What is denominator? What we are dissolving practically. This is in our hands. Okay. Dissolved shade amount. Dissolving is in our hands and dissociation depends upon the solute. Okay. Depends on the electrolyte. It depends on its own capability. Okay. Like dissolved is in our hands. We will try to dissolve as much as possible. But if the solute is don't want to dissociate, it is up to their hand. Okay. So depending on that capacity only, electrolytes are divided into how many types? 2 types. Okay. So when you're writing alpha in the form of the fraction, maximum possible value is 1. That too, it happens very, very rarely. Okay. That too, it happens very rarely normally. Okay. Most of the time, what you will find, alpha value will be less than. Okay. Alpha value will be less than 1 only. Okay. So in terms of the fraction I am talking about, but when you take it in the form of the okay, but when you take it in the form of the percentage, it is going to be 100%. What it is going to be? It is going to be 100%. Okay. So 100% means 1. It is in the percentage and it is in the fraction. It is in the number. Okay. Now, in the same time, so in place of the NaCl, if I am dissolving some other electrolyte, okay, like acetic acid, CH3COOH, understood? If I am dissolving 1 mole of acetic acid in the same water, okay, but it will not give you all ions in the right side. Let us take, these are the dissolved, where I will substitute in the numerator or denominator. I will substitute in the denominator. Whatever I am doing, that will be substituted in the denominator. Whatever electrolyte is doing, that will be counted in the numerator. Okay. Now here I am assuming that 3.0115 into 10 to the power of 23. Okay. What is written here? 3.0115 into 10 to the power of 23. Ions are dissociated. Okay. So this will go in the numerator and this will be in the denominator. So this will give you 1 by 2. Okay. This is just double of this or not? That means 1 by 2. That percentage wise, if I explain how much it is going to be, 50%. Okay. So degree of dissociation of acetic acid is how much? Degree is 50% or 1 by 2 or 0.5. Alpha can never go beyond 1 in terms of the integers. Alpha can never go beyond percentage wise 100, and maximum value of alpha is in terms of the number, is how much? It is going to be 1 in terms of the percentage, it is going to be 100. Okay, so let us take how it is to be calculated and on what factor it is going to be dissociated. Okay, so now this word clear, denoted by what? Alpha. Maximum possible value 1, otherwise 1 can be percentage wise, it is 100%. Okay, now the substance are electrolyte whose alpha value is very very low, is very very low. Okay, the electrolyte whose alpha value is very very low, they are called as weak electrolyte. Okay, and the substances whose alpha value is very very high, they are called as strong electrolyte. First, this word meaning should be clear to you. Okay, because on this basis only I am explaining further. Okay, then after dissociating, they are going to give you less number of ions, it is sure. With alpha, what we can say, they are going to provide you less number of ions. Here they are going to provide you more number of ions. Okay, but depending on the ions type, this is based on the quantity, this is based upon the quality type of ions it is providing. If it is providing H plus and but less H plus, then they are called as weak acid. Okay, so weak acids are weak electrolyte which can provide less H plus. Okay, they can provide less H plus. Okay, now here weak base. What I am going to say next one is weak base, and very very few salts are there which are few salt. Third type of the weak electrolyte is what? Few salts. Okay, so few salts are going to be counted as a weak electrolyte also. Okay, weak acid, weak base, and few salts. Okay, weak acid, weak base, and few salts. Okay, now next coming to the next topic about the strong acid and strong base. Okay, so as you are aware, it is going to be just opposite to it. Their alpha is different. What is different? Their alpha is different, but they are going to give H plus only. So the substances which can give more number of more number of H plus are called strong acid, and substances which can give more number of, don't share your screen. Okay, the substances which can give more number of OH minus, they are called as strong base. They are called as strong base. And 90% of the salts are strong acids only. Okay, they are strong salts. So this salt 90% you will find it here. Okay, very few you will find it here. For this, a special topic is used called as solubility product. Solubility product is about few salt whose are they are counted in the weak electrolyte. Is it understood? Now this is about the basics of the anionic equilibrium. This is not the chapter start actually. Frankly speaking, we are just studied about the introduction of the anionic equilibrium. Okay. So in electrolyte classification up to here, is it everything understood? Okay. Now coming to, in this chapter we are going to study about the weak electrolyte only. Okay, why? Because strong electrolyte dissociate completely, so there is no reactant itself. So there is no reactant means it is not a reversible reaction. So not a reversible reaction, not a equilibrium. Okay, that means in this chapter we are going to concentrate mostly on the strong electrolyte only. Okay, now in the strong electrolyte also, to make strong electrolyte, first we will study only in the pH. Okay, in the pH side only we will study about the strong electrolyte. Otherwise most of the other topic like buffer solution and Ostwald dilution law, most of the topics related to what? Weak electrolyte only. Only one place we are going to study about the strong electrolyte. What is that topic? That is strong electrolyte belongs to uh, pH. Okay, now first let us consider what are the factors affecting Factors affecting electrolyte, alpha. Okay, factors affecting alpha. Okay, first one factor affecting alpha is, that is called as nature of solute. Okay, so some solute with, they are very highly ionic. What I have written, I think it is less visible, that's why I am reading out nature of solute. Okay, so nature of solute, ionic nature should be more. What should be more? Ionic nature should be more. Okay, higher the ionic nature, higher will be its tendency to dissociate, and higher will be electrolytic properties. Okay, so first one is nature of solute. What we are going to see here, ionic nature should be high. Okay. Second one is nature of solvent. Nature of solvent. Okay. So solvent, what we will look it for? We will look it for its. We are going to look it for dielectric constant. What constant? Dielectric. Now it is, I think, visible. Okay. Dielectric constant. So dielectric constant higher, then degree of dissociation is going to be higher one. Okay, and ionic nature of solute is more, then degree of dissociation is more. And third factor is dilution. Third factor is what? Dilution. The more amount of solvent you add, suppose if I am keeping 1 mole of solute only, but if I use 2 liter, if I use 10 liter, in 10 liter, more number of ions will dissociate. Okay. More is the dilution, more will be degree of dissociation. Okay. So 3 factor, is it understood? Next to fourth factor is temperature. What is the next factor? Temperature. Okay. So dissociation is basically endothermic process. Which process? Endothermic process. Okay. So in endothermic process, if you want to keep it on the right side, then temperature must be high. Okay. That means higher degree of dissociation found at higher temperature. Where? Higher temperature. Okay. So that means it is also directly proportional. It is also directly proportional here, directly proportional to dielectric constant here, directly proportional to ionic nature. Which nature? Ionic nature. Okay. Then fifth factor, addition of certain substances. Which substances? Addition of certain substances. Okay. So which have common ion. Okay, which have common ion. Understood? Let us take an example of AgCl. AgCl. Okay, its degree of dissociation is suppose 0.5. But if I add NaCl to the same substance, its degree of dissociation is going to be reduced. Okay, so it is going to be reduced as 0.35. How much it is going to be reduced? 0.35. Okay, so that means it also depends upon the addition of certain substances. Normally certain substances, what they will do, they will decrease the degree of dissociation. Okay, total how many factor is it understood now? First one is, what is the first factor? First factor we are going to study is nature of solute. On what it will depend? It will depend on the, okay, it will depend on which factor? Ionic nature of solute. Second, nature of solvent, dielectric constant. Third one, more dilution, more higher temperature. Fourth one is addition of certain substances lowers the degree of dissociation. Okay. Now, once you know the degree of dissociation, how to calculate further values? Okay. Once you know the degree of dissociation, how to calculate further values? Okay. So that further value is given by the Ostwald. Who gave that one? Ostwald. 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 Okay. And it is called as Ostwald's dilution law. Which law? Ostwald's dilution law. I think it is now clearly visible. Ostwald's dilution law. Okay. So Ostwald dilution law says that for it is applicable again as now I am starting with the weak electrolyte only. Now I am taking a weak acid. Okay. Example, as an example, what I am taking, weak acid. Okay, Ha, when dissolved in water, it exists in a equilibrium. It exists in equilibrium with H3O positive plus A negative. Which negative? A negative. Okay. So here I am taking it as a weak electrolyte and weak acid. Now, initial. First condition is initial. Okay. Initially it is 1 mole. Okay. Or 1 I will take simply. So it is going to be 0 and 0. And one more thing I wanted to tell you here, stress on it is degree of dissociation is defined for 1 mole only. It is defined for how many moles? 1 mole. Okay. So now let us take sum of it. Its degree of dissociation is alpha. How much it is? Alpha. Okay. So at equilibrium, 1 minus alpha. Alpha is defined for 1, but there is no restriction that we should always take for 1 mole only. Okay. Alpha is defined for 1 mole, but you can take 10 moles also, but you should make accordingly adjustments. Okay. So this is alpha, this is alpha. Now, if it is more than 1 mole, it can be less than 1 mole also. That will be C. C is the actual concentration. Alpha defined for 1 molarity, but C is the actual concentration. C alpha, C alpha. ఒక మోల్లో సగం వెళ్తే 10 మోల్స్ లో దానిలో సగం 5 moles, that is 5. C is multiplied here. Okay. Now here in normal equilibrium constant Kc, what is the formula? Equilibrium constant is equal to concentration of product divided by concentration of reactant. Okay. Ha into H2O. Is it understood? Concentration of H3O plus into A minus divided by Ha into H2O. This is normal equilibrium constant only. But here one problem is that water concentration is constant. How much it is? Water concentration is 55.5. 555, it will keep on going. How we got it is, you take 1 liter of water. 1 liter of water contains how much? 1000 divided by molecular mass. Mass upon molecular mass, you got moles, 1 liter. Okay. So here it is, on dividing, we will get 55.5. This is constant. So constant cross multiplied. Kc into concentration of H2O. That is a new constant that is only denoted as Ka, dissociation constant. Okay. Ka is equal to H3O plus into A minus divided by concentration of Ha. Okay. This is the formula. Now we got some other values. We got some values like H3O positive. It is how much? C alpha. It is also C alpha divided by C into 1 minus alpha. C into 1 minus alpha. C and C will get cancelled. Okay. So this will give you C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. Okay. Ka is equal to what? C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. Is it understood? Now, further making corrections. Okay. Now Ka, what I got? Ka is equal to C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. But sometimes what happens? Alpha is very less than 1. Then Ka can be directly written as C alpha square. When alpha is very less than 1 only, that time only we can write it as a Ka is equal to C alpha square. Rest places we cannot write. Okay. And one more thing here, C, H3O concentration is how much? C alpha. Okay. So already we know that H3O is C alpha. Okay. Already we know that H3O is C alpha. So C, we will keep it as it is. Okay. And here this can be written as alpha is equal to square root of Ka upon C. Alpha we can write it as a square root of Ka upon C or not. So that means whenever we require H3O positive, we require H3O positive, we can write it in two different ways. We can write it in how many ways? Two different ways. Okay. So what are those two different ways? Listen carefully. Okay. First formula is Ka is equal to C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. or sometimes it is also called as C alpha square only when alpha is very less than 1. Okay. Second thing, H3O positive. And for second formula is alpha is equal to square root of Ka upon C. This is one formula. This is another formula. Okay. Okay, this is another formula. So concentration of H3O positive can also be written as H3O positive can be written as C alpha. So C into, in place of alpha, what I can write? In place of alpha, I can write as a Ka upon C. So directly we can write it as a Ka into C also. Okay, just make a note of it. All of you make a note of it. Very important topic. Okay, now I think everybody made a note of it. Understood? This is Ostwald dilution law. Okay. So after Ostwald dilution law, by using acid as an example, we have determined some values. What are those values? First one is dissociation constant. Ka is what? Dissociation constant of acid. Okay. Ka is equal to C alpha square. Ka is equal to what? C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. Is it understood? And we can also write it as a C alpha square provided specially mentioned degree of dissociation is very much less. Okay. Then concentration of H3O positive. This is we are going to use it much. Okay. So, and one more formula, alpha is equal to square root of Ka upon C. Alpha is equal to what? Square root of Ka upon C. Clearly I will write. Alpha is equal to square root of Ka upon C. From this only I am deriving. From this it is very difficult to remember also, and mostly exams questions are not asked on that formula. Okay. Now coming to the H3O positive, concentration of H3O positive is equal to square root of, otherwise first derivation part also I will write C into alpha. Basic formula is C into alpha. H3O positive is equal to what? C into alpha. Okay. So once it is C into alpha, what we can write? C alpha, we can write it as a square root of Ka upon C. So that means H3O positive is equal to square root of Ka into C. This not now important, but in future when you start with the which chapter topic pH, there directly we can use when K and C is given. What is C here? C is concentration. What is C here? C is concentration. Okay. Ka is dissociation constant of acid. Okay. Now same I am applying for the base. Same I am applying for the base. Formulas will be same only. Ka. Here it is Ka, there it is going to be what? Kb. What it is going to be there? Kb. Okay. So Kb is equal to, what is the formula? C alpha square when alpha is very less. Dissociation constant of base. Okay. It is equal to, and for that alpha is equal to square root of Kb upon C. Okay. And third formula which we derived over here is concentration of OH minus. Concentration of what? OH minus is equal to, here we got Ka into C, there it will be Kb into C. Okay, so these are the formulas for base and these are the formulas for acid. Ostwald dilution law, I think everybody understood or not? Any problem with this? Okay, very nice. Okay, so afterwards you can make a note of it. Now coming to the very next topic, autoprotolysis. Which topic? Autoprotolysis. Okay, autoprotolysis is loss of proton by one molecule of its own type to the one molecule of another type. Okay, that means suppose water. Okay, water loses its proton to another water molecule. Within the molecule of same kind only, transfer of proton is taking place. That is called as autoprotolysis. H3O plus and OH minus. Okay, this is called as what? Autoprotolysis. H2O losing H plus to another, then this H2O, particular H2O converted into OH minus. This H2O converted into H plus. Okay, so here, suppose from here to here, what we can write? Gains H plus. Okay, and here H2O to OH minus it is forming. What does it mean? Loses H plus. Okay, loses H plus. That is the difference. Now in that condition, same I can write as equilibrium constant Kc is equal to concentration of H3O plus into concentration of OH minus divided by concentration of H2O2. I can write it. Okay, so it is just previous one only. Now here, as we have done earlier also, this we have done. What we have done? H2O cross multiplied. Again we are going to do it same. Okay, so Kc into concentration of H2O square is equal to H3O positive into OH minus. Okay, so when we multiplied Kc with H2O, that was made as a Ka. Now here we are multiplying with the H2O as well as one more H2O. That's why it is called Kw. W stands for water. W stands for water. Kw is equal to concentration of H3O plus into concentration of OH minus. Okay. So this is called as ionic product of water. What it is called as? Ionic product of water. Okay, it is called as ionic product of water. Okay, and at room temperature, it is fixed as 1 into 10 to the power of minus 14. Okay, as I told you, this is an endothermic reaction. Okay, so and as it is endothermic reaction, temperature increases, Kw will also increase. Okay, temperature increases, Kw will also increase. This is the relation between ionic product. Ionic product is a part of a topic called as autoprotolysis. Okay, so for autoprotolysis, water is an example, but it is not necessary that autoprotolysis is shown by water only. Is it understood? Autoprotolysis is also shown by many other things. Okay. So for example, ammonia. Okay. I think this you have noted. But most general example, most of the books you will find this as an example only. Okay, so it is possible by which? It is possible by ammonia also. Okay, so for ammonia I am writing, but the ions will be different. Okay, so let us take NH3 loses, auto means same molecule. Okay, so once it gains, then it will form as a NH4 positive, and it loses, it will form as a NH2 negative. Okay, so ionic product of water is, sorry, ammonia is NH4 plus into NH2 minus. Is it understood? Okay, rest all we will study afterwards.